don't think just, going back and just doing it the same old way, that's a better way.
I think you're getting off. Everybody has stated they're in favor of an audit committee, okay?
They've said
Everybody
that.
said that.
They have said that.
Said
Yes, they
Diane
have said
Judy,
that.
Yes.
Okay.
But their actions speak louder than their words.
Okay.
Their inactions.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm trying to be civil and discuss this with you.
Yeah.
You're raising
Whatever
your
you
vote. I'm going to say no. All right. If you're
Go
going to
ahead.
keep throwing that
If that's the
stupid
way
crap
you
out,
wanna do that,
all right.
that's fine.
We're sitting here trying to get something done. Okay, and you keep throwing that in. Jesus. We're all trying to talk and try to get this solved. And you go,
Mr. Chair.
stupid.
Mr. Chair. Thank you.
God almighty.
Stupid.
Yes, Lauren. Yeah, how's that? That's what it is. That's what you
Great.
just said.
Thanks.
I'm going to,
Everything is political.
7C, Select Board to consider establishing an audit committee.
Move approval.
second.
And when I say that, Mr. Chair, I'm referring to the motion that
That is, we received.
we have drafted, Lauren and I have drafted on behalf of this, and I'm happy to go through that if you'd like.
I guess, I'll if you prefer, is that how would you prefer to go through the motion? So we got it already.
Yeah.
You wanna,
Were there questions on it? Were there
yeah,
concerns?
so first of all, I'll start. I am in favor of establishing an audit committee. I'm 100% in favor of that. There's a couple of things that one I'm not in favor of is the 6-member ad hoc committee to pick the audit committee. I think I'm okay with select board. I believe it should be the full select board. Usually when we establish ad hoc committees, it's usually done through the select board when it comes to the stuff that's under our purview. Historically, I don't believe that a representative from the school committee and then also the town moderator being able to, nothing personal, but a member just to be picked by the town moderator. So I'm not in favor of that part of the motion. And then I also would like to, has this been reviewed by town council?
No.
All right, so I'm not in favor of voting on something that hasn't been reviewed by town council. Just to make sure the wording's right.
Fine.
I'm in
That's
favor
fine.
of the audit committee.
Yeah.
It's the motion, that part of the motion I would not, the part about who gets to pick the audit committee, and then the fact that it doesn't say anything about being reviewed by town council.
All right. Could I clarify?
Absolutely, sure.
So how this came about was when Ryan Biss presented to us a couple of meetings ago after he had requested multiple times to appear before us and finally had that opportunity, and made a compelling case for the need for an audit committee, a group of citizens and public officials that would help select the auditor, do the scope of service for the auditing firm, participate in exit interviews, follow up on areas of concern that the auditors raised, and so forth. So what we have proposed is not that this ad hoc committee would decide who is on the committee, but this committee would be charged with going out, looking at towns in our immediate area, and there are probably 20 in the immediate area that have audit committees, determine who's on those bodies, the composition. It would not be selecting individuals. It would be, for example, saying that the select board appoints 3 of the 7, for example. That the finance committee would appoint 3 of the 7, and 1 would be appointed by some other entity, perhaps the town moderator. So this ad hoc committee would simply prepare a bylaw that would come back to this board. And this board would then say, yes, thumbs up or thumbs down. We're either going to send it on to town meeting for ultimate approval, or we're not. Another major thing this committee would be doing is working with town council to look at what is existing authority of the finance committee, for example, of what's in bylaws, what's in the town charter, what's in state law, and would determine exactly what the scope of the duties of this board would be. So this ad hoc committee really is just going to go in there, and there are 6 people that I proposed, 2 from this board. I hope one is me and the other one is Lauren, frankly. 2 from this board, 2 from the finance committee, 1 appointed by the town moderator, and 1 appointed by the school committee. 6 people, they just do the grunt work, do all the work in public session with input from the citizens of this town, and decide, hey, we want a 9-member committee, or we only want a 3-member committee, and we want them to have this series of duties, or not have these duties. And they would vet this whole thing, bring it back ultimately to this board, and this board would say, yes, this makes sense, we're going to send it on a town meeting for approval, or we're not going to. Simple as that. Or we want to revise what you proposed. So this ad hoc committee really has no authority except to recommend, and it doesn't go beyond that. I have suggested in here that as a minimum, the group that they would propose to us would have certain duties, and these are ones already identified by the Division of Local Services of the Mass Department of Revenue. These are not things that I've invented, and they include establishing the process and frequency for selection of an auditor, determining the audit objectives and scope of services, selecting the independent auditing firm. So the ultimate audit committee would select the firm, receive and review financial statements, auditors' reports, and management letters, monitor the progress of corrective actions recommended in the audit, and provide recommendations to town boards and officials regarding accounting practices and the need for additional auditing. No member of the audit committee may be a current town or school employee. The point is to get outside of this room and have fresh eyes on it, okay?
If I may, Mr. Chair.
Oh,
Through you, Mr.
okay.
Go ahead,
Judy,
Judy.
do you want it? Judy?
No, go ahead, Diane, then I'll speak after you.
There are so many things about this that I really like, Steve. I have to say, I do agree that we need an audit committee. I think that you clarified something just now that I was not understanding, and that is that you want to, I'm glad to hear that the members would not be current employees of the town. Because my understanding was that you wanted people from other boards that would serve on this, and I don't think that that's going to help us. I think we need fresh eyes, we need new ears, we need people that are going to dig, we need people that have extensive finance backgrounds to be on this committee. And so as I said, I absolutely agree that an audit committee should be formed. I worry a little bit if town council has not reviewed this. And I think that, that definitely is a step. But I also, as protocol has gone in the past, it is the entire select board that has established committees. And if we're going to get people to jump in on this, then I think we need to make the community aware of our need, that there are plenty of folks that live here in Hudson that have extensive accounting backgrounds that can indeed be part of this committee. And so that would be my hope. But I still think that the select board, the entire select board, should be choosing that committee and not a selection committee that selects the committee. I don't understand why we need that in-between step.
I think from my understanding,
Mr. Chair.
Hold on.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna,
Oh, okay.
before I let you speak, I'm gonna, just because Steve is the one that's speaking to, unless you want to defer to Lauren, Diane's asking a question, so I assume one of you two want to answer it.
yes,
So
please.
before, I guess, who wants to do it?
I would be happy
Okay.
to. So the goal of this was not that the audit, this ad hoc committee is going to choose the individuals on it. It is simply to create the way it is going to be constructed moving forward. So whether or not it is a board that people are appointed to, whether or not it's a board that people are voted on, however makes sense based on the research from other towns. It's not that this ad hoc committee is going to say, I choose those 5 people, they're on it now. That's not what's going to happen. It would be just strictly the composition and where those individuals would be coming from. They could be, we're gonna just have 5 residents and they need to apply. That's not decided, and that's the point of the ad hoc committee, for them to do the research to figure out the best way to create this committee. Whether or not other towns use, representatives from multiple boards, and then that's how they form the committee, or if people use a complete fresh set of eyes, and that's how they form this committee. That's more of the purpose of this, is to do the background research to figure out the best way to do it moving forward that works for our town and our population as well. Because just because Sudbury does it one way doesn't mean we have to do it that way, for example. Did that answer your question as far as?
I understand where you're coming from. I don't know. I would like to hear what Judy has to say, but honestly, I think that we need to definitely have an audit committee. And I'm just, having a committee to select the committee just seems to be a little bit redundant, and why we can't do it in one step instead of 2. And I think that all of the duties that you have clearly defined are absolutely necessary, and they are really, it's a great start. And I agree with 90% of this. I'm struggling a little bit with the ad hoc committee that's going to be, I think that the committee itself should be doing a lot of that work.
Can I have a follow-up through you, Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
So
Steve,
what?
Yeah.
So-
No, this
If-
committee.
Who's gonna,
Yeah.
hold on, who's gonna answer, Lauren or you?
I just have a follow-up question, just try to understand where she's coming from. So just, what would be your counter proposal? So would you say right now the select, or in 2 meetings or whatever, the select board would choose people that would be permanent members of this audit committee and just straight up form it?
Is this committee a permanent committee?
No,
Mr. Chair,
absolutely not.
may I
No.
make a
That's what I'm
comment?
saying.
Hold on, Judy,
Go ahead.
please.
I need to make a further clarification.
Yeah.
This ad hoc committee is that, ad hoc. It's short-term, it's there for a particular purpose, and then it disappears.
Maximum November.
Once a bylaw goes before town meeting and is voted upon, this thing goes out of business.
Yep.
This committee very well could come back and say, we think the select board should be the appointing authority for these positions, but these are the types of positions that should be, or the types of folks that should be part of this group. That could be the recommendation. I would like to serve on the ad hoc committee. I would not want to serve on the audit committee.
Nor would I.
That's not my thing.
It's not my background either.
Ryan Biss should be on this committee.
Yes.
The chair of the audit committee, of the finance committee probably should be on it. And I can think of a whole bunch of people that should be on it.
I agree.
Not me.
I agree.
But I could also research and find out who probably should be on the committee. That's what this group is charged with doing.
Okay, Judy?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And through you, first of all, I do have an issue with the second paragraph, as the two of you and Diane have discussed. I don't think any ad hoc committee or any committee in general should have 6 members. It's an even number, not an odd number. So therefore, if there is a discrepancy, there is no tying. There would be a tie. It would be 3 and 3, or 4 and 4, whatever you want to call it. I do want to first and foremost also state that I want to see the audit happen. I don't agree with an ad hoc committee to find a committee. I do take a little, and Lauren, in your defense, I agree. We do need a fresh set of eyes.
Yep, me too.
On our finances. I completely agree with that. However, there is a little bit of a conflict of interest as well. I know Ryan Biz has been coming and speaking. I think he would be great, but he's also on the finance committee now. He would also be chosen. your husband is on the finance committee, Warren. There's also a discrepancy right there. There could be a view of conflict of interest if you're on the committee and your husband's on the committee. We have to be concerned about that. I think that what we should do, and also, Lauren, to what you just said about, so in 2 weeks, are we going to just choose this committee? Typically, what we do when we choose committees, first of all, they have to be residents of the town of Hudson, and then they come in front of us. We put the interest cards out for 30 days. So this would be a 30-day process. Therefore, we wouldn't be doing this for another month, so to speak. Correct, Mr. Chair?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Again, this is where we get concerned, where we need legal counsel to tell us if what we're doing is appropriate. Is there a conflict of interest? Should we have a committee of 6? There's a lot of questions before we can have answers. I don't agree with an ad hoc committee, and if that's what this vote is going to be on tonight, my answer is going to be no, because I want an audit, but I don't want an ad hoc committee.
Can I respond?
Lauren?
So, Judy, I think there might be a little bit of a confusion about the length of the audit committee versus the ad hoc committee. The ad hoc committee would be to establish a permanent, like year after year, audit committee. It is not a one-off audit committee for this particular audit. It would be a permanent situation. So that's why we think it's important to take it to town meeting to have this entire committee formed. It would be a separate committee that would be a permanent addition to the town of Hudson's group of committees. So just for
There's
lack of
no
better words.
confusion. I understood what I read.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It just because. Yes, this audit that is happening with the finance department will happen no matter what. That regardless of this committee, it's going to happen. The audit is going to happen. And then if we had members just submit interest cards, that would be, in my view, a temporary solution. And then they would then have to create the bylaw change to, make themselves permanent, just like what happened with the traffic committee as well, to form themselves. And so we're just trying to circumnavigate, we're trying to work ahead. We're trying to do this in advance and do this the right way and do it a research-based way, as opposed to just receiving interest cards and then the people who are currently on it basically creating themselves. We're trying to avoid that. We're trying to have other people create the best committee that would work for this town, as opposed to the people on the committee creating their own committee, if that makes sense.
And I understand the difference between the ad hoc committee versus the audit committee. I understand this would be an annual thing. Okay. I do understand that. Okay. What I am saying is that the individuals that are in this motion, so just so the public knows, 2 representatives from the select board, 2 representatives from the finance committee, 1 representative from the school committee, and 1 member appointed by town moderator. Okay, so that's 6, number 1. Yes. Those individuals will select the audit committee. The audit committee is then going to be responsible for auditing the town year in and year out. Am I correct so far?
The only adjustment I would make would be that those individuals would be selecting the composition, but not the actual individuals of the audit committee.
Correct. So where in this motion does it say who chooses the audit committee?
It says that they will research and debate the composition, which would be who's going to be on it, duties and responsibilities of the audit committee, and propose a bylaw. So ultimately, it would be the select board and then town meeting who would choose who is on the audit committee permanently, or who the representatives are.
What goes in front of town meeting then, Lauren?
It would be the bylaw that the ad hoc committee would write, they would present to the select board, and then would go to town meeting, likely at this point in November of 26.
Scott.
Yes.
Mr. Duplessis, so I guess this is where all of the confusion comes in and where I feel legal is important, because I understand this as you want to, at this motion, and correct me if I'm wrong, you want to establish an ad hoc committee to form an audit committee that you can then create a bylaw for town meeting, supposedly in May, probably in November, that will continue to audit the town year end and year out, which I don't think any of us on this board are against. We all want it. I think we're against the process of it. So I'm trying to understand where your 6-member ad hoc committee, where your logic is with those individuals.
Would you like to speak to the logic, or would you like me to?
Go for it.
It felt fairly reasonable for the 2 select board members, because obviously we can't have 3. And then finance committee, we had selected 2, but that could easily be adjusted to 3. We didn't want it to be an unruly group, because obviously the finance committee is going to have the largest impact in the audit, and they have more knowledge than the select board members do.
That's debatable. I'm serious.
Okay, then, and all of this was just the reasoning behind it.
You got 2 members that were on the finance committee sitting on the board.
Thank you. I was about to say that.
Okay.
Continue.
I have been chastised before about interrupting and being rude, and I'm not going to lie, that felt a little rude. So the representative from the school committee, the schools are one of the larger parts of this town. We felt as though, since they are a publicly elected group as well, they could well represent. The schools do go through their own process. That's why we limited it to 1, even though they're a large board. They have also experience. They have members who have served in all sorts of purposes. They would be the ones choosing which of their members would be a representative. And then, in the interest of trying to have resident impact, we chose to have a member appointed by the town moderator, because it was another publicly elected official that could appoint another resident. I have no idea who the moderator would choose. She could choose.
Mr. Chair, I do have one other thing.
You know something?
Sure.
Judy?
I just want to say that, just to echo what you just said about, that doesn't make them more qualified. There are 2 members of the select board that have previously sat on the finance committee. I'm not sure if all board members are aware of that, but that is the case. And I apologize that you feel offended. There are certain things that make everybody offended. I'm offended that you don't salute the flag, but here we are. So,
All right, confine it to the subject. Confine it to the subject, please. Judy?
Okay, well, we can go back and forth on this, but it to me, historically, the way the town has always appointed a committee has been through the select board, and that's what I think we should do.
Okay. Steve?
Mr. Chairman, I have frankly no objection to this body appointing the ad hoc committee. But I think we should do that now. And there's no need for legal representation here. We can form any committee we wish at any time we wish. We don't need legal counsel to weigh in on that. And we can have an even-numbered or odd-numbered committee. I've served on one called the Greater New Bedford Regional Refuse Management District with 8 members, 4 from the city of New Bedford, 4 from the town of Dartmouth. It worked perfectly well. It required consensus, and that's not a bad thing these days. So, there were never like 7-1 votes. It was always 8-0 or 0-8. So I say, if you want to have this board tonight appoint the ad hoc committee, let's follow this kind of method and let's do it. And charge the committee to get going.
Okay.
But I think
Mr. Chair,
frankly it would make a lot more sense to kind of decentralize the process, because whatever the process has been for the past couple of decades, it has not worked. In case we haven't noticed that in the past 4 or 5 months, it has not worked. That's why the system has to be changed. And this is the way I propose to change it. If you have a better way, suggest it. I don't think just going back and just doing it the same old way, that's a better
I
way.
think you're getting off. Everybody has stated they're in favor of an audit committee. Okay?
They've said
Everybody
that.
said that.
They have said that.
it.
Yes, they
Diane
have
has.
said
Judy-
that.
Yes.
Okay.
But their actions speak louder than their words.
Okay.
Their
Mr. Chair?
inactions.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm trying to be civil and discuss this with you.
Yeah.
You're raising your voice
Yep.
and telling me what we think. So that's not a way to get
I'm
me
just-
to agree with what you're talking about.
Right.
Okay? I'm trying to run this and give everybody a chance to talk about it. People are saying things but they probably shouldn't say. I apologize I interrupted you.
Thank you.
Okay? I shouldn't have done that. But the way you're going about it, you're putting words in people's mouths, saying, oh, this is what, keep kicking the can down the road. We all said we want to establish a committee. How many times are we going to say it? It's the matter of who's on this ad hoc committee and the fact that it needs to be vetted by town council, because if it's going to town meeting for a vote,
Yes.
what are we going to pick? How long are the people going to serve? Where does it say that? How long are they going to be on the committee?
That will be
What?
discussed.
You're saying that.
Look,
You're
there's
saying-
another line in here
It doesn't
too.
say that in here.
It says the ad hoc committee is established by this vote will complete its work and cease to exist once the bylaw it proposes has been acted upon by Hudson Town Meeting. We can adjust any of this also.
can.
Right, but that's not, I want this to be reviewed, I'm okay with it.
Hold on.
Okay, I
One-
want it to be reviewed by town council.
One more thing which I did not read. In furtherance of the goals outlined in this motion, and you've only heard probably 50% of it, the select board shall encourage and direct the town manager, finance director, town council, and other departments and employees to fully cooperate with the work of the ad hoc committee. This committee is not going to work in some sort of silo and come back with a secret bylaw. It's going to be something that's fully vetted by town council.
That's your opinion.
No, that's what is here
Okay, then I
and what
don't-
we have proposed.
Okay. I'm not
So-
gonna.
And sorry if you don't like my loud voice, but I tend to
Well, you're lucky I got.
be
a sinus
interested in
infection.
this topic.
I understand, I said that right off the bat, we've all said it.
If we,
You're
Mr.
misconstruing
Chair,
what we're
may
talking
I?
about. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to point out too that, and Mr. Sheriff, you know this as well as I do, that the school committee, and maybe Mr. Gregory can confirm this, how often has the school committee's budget been on time?
can we move
It's
forward
the
to the
truth.
root of the
So if
situation?
we're going to appoint
We don't
members of
need
the
to.
school
Can we
committee.
not,
All right,
please?
so Judy,
Judy.
we don't need to go down
No,
that road
no.
right now, okay?
Well, maybe we should, because that's always been a delay in our budget.
No, we're not.
No.
You're either gonna vote for the motion the way it is, you want to amend it, but and I want to get into the subject of, we've already stated our opinion on all that, okay? So I don't want to go off topic here.
Mr. Chair,
Let's continue.
if
Yes,
I could have the
Lauren.
floor. So is the issue between the three of you, is the issue the ad hoc?
Don't say the three.
No, I'm sorry, but we're the ones proposing it. So is the issue with the ad hoc committee itself or with the composition of the ad hoc committee?
Mine is the composition of the ad hoc committee.
Okay.
And I want, even if it's preliminary, I want town council to look at it, because if we're gonna make a motion, I would love for it to go through without having to do this.
So just to get to this point, is it the ad hoc committee or the composition of it? So for you, it is the composition of the ad hoc committee, but not the ad hoc committee itself.
Well, yes, because I think it should be the select board.
Okay.
But it's the composition, correct.
And with me, it's the ad hoc committee because I think it's the select board that should be making the decision and not an ad hoc committee.
So you don't want the ad hoc committee at all, you just want to go straight to an audit committee?
Yes.
I thought you said you wanted the select board to pick
I wanted the
audit.
select board to select the audit committee.
So you want to skip over the ad hoc committee and go
Yes.
straight to the audit? And
Yes.
you are fine with the ad hoc committee, but not the way we have it composed.
I'm fine with two things. I'm not fine with the composition of the ad hoc committee.
Okay.
I'm not, and it could be different, and I could be persuaded to go to the ad hoc committee.
Okay.
If you just asked me off the top, I'd say it should be the select board. But if you came back with something different other than the way it is now, I might entertain that.
Okay.
And the other thing too is I want, even if it's preliminary, I want town council to look at it.
I understand.
I want it to go through. I want it to go forward.
I
don't want to have arguments like this.
I understand
Guys,
the desire
you two
to
got together
have,
and came up with a motion. We had no input on it. That's fine.
and that's the point of
Any
this,
one
right?
member
It's
could do it.
that's what I'm
Fine,
trying to
fine. I have no
understand
problem with it.
what changes or what adjustments that we might want to make, and if we're close enough that we can make an
Right.
adjustment today, or if we need to, you know.
And I'm glad you guys did it. I really am. I mean, I'm glad you guys took the initiative. Steve, you did it on the other thing. I'm glad for that. Okay, you spent a lot of work on it, so good for that. But I just want to see something different. If I get outvoted, whatever it is. But I'm telling you what I see
Yep.
tonight. I'm not ready to vote on this.
Okay.
If you ask me to vote on the motion, I'm going to vote no.
So I'm just trying to, I'm not asking you to do any, I
on.
was just trying to figure out what adjustments
Absolutely,
and
sure.
where we're at as far as adjustments are made.
I agree.
Can, Judy, are you more,
Yeah, and
Go ahead.
I am in line with Diane. I'm against the ad hoc committee. I am completely in favor of an audit committee, but I am against the ad hoc committee. I don't see the sense in that. There has been, the way this motion is written, it is way too subject for interpretation, and I believe that it needs to go through legal.
I completely understand, and that's fine. We can absolutely progress with having it go through legal. If that would make everybody feel more comfortable, that's totally fine. But there's no point in having legal look at something that isn't going to move forward. So if we could figure out how we can make adjustments to make at least a majority content, that's kind of would be my goal right now, is how we can move forward, because that's the purpose of this. We're having a discussion. How can we make adjustments? So for you, Scott, of those representatives, you would just rather have it be all 5 representatives of the select board? What composition would make you feel more comfortable
I don't
for an
know.
ad hoc?
That's why I'm saying I'm not ready to vote on it. Even if I told you what I wanted, right? I still want legal to look at it.
I understand, but we still need
I
to
just
get
don't want-
somewhere,
Yeah,
right?
I
In
don't
order to
think
have
it should
legal
be
look at
a
it,
member from the school committee.
you do not
and
want
I don't
that.
think it should be a member of the town moderator picking somebody.
Okay.
Those are the two I'm against.
So then if we had just the 2 representatives of the select board and the 2 representatives of the finance committee, that would be 4, which then creates the same issue that
No, I think
Judy's
I
concerned.
think it should be an odd number.
Okay, so where would adding a member from a different committee or
I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is, I want somebody I want to offer something, and it doesn't have to be just you. It could be Diane, it could be Judy. I mean, they're gonna vote however they're gonna vote. I might still say it should only be the select board, but I don't want the school committee member and the town moderator picking the 2 members. And I don't think it should be 6, it should be either 5, 7 gets cumbersome.
So if we had the 2 representatives of the select board and 3 representatives from the finance committee, would that be acceptable for you?
No, because then they'd have to have a public meeting. There's 3 members. Why would we?
What's wrong with there being a public
Mr.
meeting?
Chair, that's a committee of 9. That does not violate open meeting laws.
Yeah,
No. You had 3 members.
Finance committee is 9.
'cause they would be 4.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay,
Yep.
4. I don't know. That's
How about if we
possible.
said 2 members of the select board, 3 members of the finance committee, none of who can be related?
Yes.
Would that satisfy the
Related to
concern?
who?
We can't,
Two.
honestly, we can't be on the same thing very often anyway, because we do
Related
have
to
the
each other?
children. We couldn't be on it at the same time because of the kids. Budget season's gonna be fun for us anyway, so.
Right, and I also, I just, like I said, I want it to be reviewed by,
And we will, but we need to adjust to things, right? So for you, if we removed the school committee member, which I still would like to see, but if would make everybody feel happier, then, it is fine. And then remove the member appointed by the town moderator. If we did 2 select board, 3 representatives of the finance committee, everything else staying the same, would you be on board with that?
Possibly.
Okay, so if we readjusted this in the next 2 weeks, they want town council to look at it first. So if we readjusted this, sent it to Tom in the morning to
That's just
have.
me, I don't know what, like I said, Diane and Judy, but that's up to you.
So I'm trying to come up with a
Got me.
plan to see how if we are good
Yep.
moving forward.
Excuse me, through you,
Aye.
Mr. Chair. So the motion that, as read, says the select board is to consider establishing an audit committee. And we have all agreed that an audit committee should be established. It does not say ad hoc. I know that this extensive document that you have handed us wants an ad hoc committee. I'm just not in favor of an ad hoc committee rather than the audit committee doing the duties that you have put out.
So do you have
How
a,
about, do
But we
you want us
can't-
to vote to approve establishing
audit-
an audit committee? And then.
Just
the
that.
The details will be like what we talked about. Talk about the composition of the ad hoc committee and reviewed by town council. If it's just establishing an audit committee, I think you got 5 votes. But if that's, you don't want to do that, that's fine.
But that's down the road.
Okay.
We cannot vote to establish an audit committee. We can endorse
what
the
I'm saying.
concept.
It
We
says
don't have a
consider
bylaw.
establishing an
Right.
audit committee, and I think we all
But
agree.
that's not what I
Yes,
proposed to
understand,
be
but
on the
there's a
agenda.
process.
Okay.
There's a
Well-
process. We haven't agreed on the process.
Which
yes, I think the motion is to take immediate
written.
steps to establish an
It's as
audit
written.
committee.
Right, so we're not gonna change that. Okay.
So do you have a counter
Can we
motion
not
then, Diane?
amend the emotion?
Absolutely, but
Can you amend the motion?
Yes.
And can we not amend the emotion just like we do in prior meetings?
No, we don't have to amend it. What I think Lauren was asking was to find out what the board wants to do so she can come back with, is that correct?
yes,
I-
absolutely. Nope, we're
So
on the
she's
same
trying to get the
page.
information from us now so she can come back with,
An amended motion.
is that correct?
Yes.
Understood.
Yes. Unless one of you have a counter motion or whatever is the correct terminology to do this differently. I mean, if Diane, if you or Judy have a different way that you would like to propose, it doesn't have to be the way we do it, obviously. It was just a suggestion and we wanted to take the steps that we thought made the most sense, but
Right. So do you want to,
Personally, oh, sorry.
no, it's okay.
I guess what I wanted to ask is, Steve, both of you have made this motion. How do you want to continue with the motion? It's been what, it's made seconded. Do you want to vote it, and assuming you know what's going to be, or do you want to vote to pass it over and come back with another motion? It's up to you, because you guys made the motion.
Well, I'm certainly willing to compromise on the composition of this group. We won't call an ad hoc, this group that's going to develop a bylaw.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with it being 2 members of the select board, 3 members of the finance committee, but appointed by the finance committee, not by us. I don't think we should tell them who should be representing them
No,
on this
the
group.
finance committee is going to vote who they want to be on.
I think
If
that
it's 2 or
it should.
3, we're
Yeah.
not going to say who it is, even though you.
But I
indicated
think we
one of
could-
them was already going to.
We could certainly vote to establish that group tonight. And also ask town council at the same time to review what's proposed as the duties.
But I
Could-
would prefer
could
to have
we-
the town council review it before that.
Could
Before
we
you vote.
make, could we adjust the
Before.
motion to adjust the composition and then say pending approval of town council?
So right now, the discussion
Can we table this?
and the argument is over the composition of an ad hoc committee. That's what the discussion
Currently,
is right now.
yes.
Yeah,
Which Diane and I have both voiced we're against an ad hoc committee. So therefore, let's talk to town council. Let's get an answer from town council to see if this is the correct way to go about this. And then maybe myself or Diane will change our minds. But until then, I think that we should table this and let town council tell us if this is a reasonable motion on the table.
So I'm just saying, your choices are to continue, we can vote, or we can, I don't think anybody, I'm not in favor of amending this, the composition of this right now. He said, reviewed by council, and then I'm ready to vote on it after that. Let's get the committee going. I'm good with that. But it's up to you. I don't want to tell you what the motion was made, it was seconded, so however you want to move forward.
What was the motion we actually made?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Is this,
I'm confused now.
the motion is this: we respectfully request the following placed, and you consider approval motion submitted by members. So you're basically saying this is what you want to do, this whole thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's too extensive to sit here, for me, to change it now. I think I would like
Well,
to see.
that's exactly why I submitted it to the town manager
2 weeks ago.
more than 2 weeks ago.
Final was on November 17th.
Okay,
So,
And you-
okay,
right. You asked
Select board members received it on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And it's been a holiday weekend, and we've had 3 days to review this motion, and we have had 0 time to have discussion on it.
So, it's up to you. It's up to you both, I guess. Whatever you want to. Just because, it's funny if you say no. If we say no to it, doesn't mean that I'm not going to entertain it again. Okay, I want it, but I want it to be different.
I mean, to me, it's obvious that currently, as it sits, we're not going anywhere. Currently, so we can either. I personally, not having served on other boards, don't know the difference between tabling it versus voting no and then coming back. I don't know what the difference there is as far as.
I know there's. I don't know. I can't quote it right now. I don't know, Tom. If we vote no, is there a time of when it can come back and be voted on again? I don't think there is.
No, there's no limitation.
It's only in town meeting that
Right,
happens.
right. And
So it can
2
be
years.
not the 8th, but it
The
could
12th.
be on the 15th.
15th?
Whatever
The
it is.
15th.
Yeah, 15th, right? If we vote to pass it over.
If
or
the
we vote-
motion is denied, tonight, and if the motion changes, it can be re-voted on again on the 15th.
Yeah, I mean, so it's either half a dozen or the other. Doesn't really
Well, I don't
matter.
know,
So
but that's why I'm
yeah.
asking you guys how you want to do it.
So I'm
I
saying
know what you
that
wanna
I'm more saying that to
say.
Steve. I'm fine with either at this point
Yeah.
because it's the same difference to me. So
well,
if you would like to vote on it, and
I
then-
feel like I owe it to the public to try to move this forward in some way. How that is accomplished, I don't know. Mr. Biss, would you allow him to speak?
I just told you.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you want, but you've already stated the whole thing. Okay, what I'm saying is the choices are, you can go forward with the motion. Okay, if you want to make a motion to amend it, you can do that. The board can vote to yes or no on the amendment, and then we can go back. Or you can say, I would prefer that we pass it over. We vote to pass it over until December 15th with the information as discussed. It's up to you guys.
So I move to amend our current motion to remove the representative of the school committee and the appointment by town moderator and add a representative to the finance committee and make the formation of the ad hoc committee pending legal approval before it is officially formed.
Second.
Okay, Judy, did you hear what that was?
I did, and I will not be in favor of that until legal counsel reviews this.
Okay. So you're making a motion, you seconded it. Okay. So we're going to vote on it being, the motion being, the motion being amended at this time. It's been made, seconded. So I'm going to, by roll call, Lauren,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Judy,
No.
No.
the chair votes no. Okay, so back to the original motion of.
Mr. Chair, would you allow Mr. Biss to weigh in on this?
No, I don't, this is
Okay.
this is a
Okay.
board thing, it's not, I'm not talking
Just
about
ask the question.
logistics of the composition of all that.
Okay.
I'm gonna do with the board only on this.
I move that we send the motion as presented tonight to town council for him to weigh in on the legal aspects of this. I don't want him to give us his political judgment as to whether or not this is a good idea.
So, is that your motion?
Yes.
You want to say that we're.
Well, you can leave the
political?
last part out, but yeah.
Well,
I wanted to weigh in the legality of the motion.
no,
Yes, as is.
me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Okay, fine.
I mean, I don't, it's,
But I want an answer by the 15th.
okay. So you're making a motion to have this, you guys made a motion.
This motion.
You guys made a
as
motion.
written.
No, hold on.
Yep.
You guys made a motion to us to vote on this, and it was seconded, okay? We didn't vote on that.
Okay, so
You
I'll
guys made
withdraw that.
amendments
I will
and we
withdraw that.
voted.
I will withdraw that motion. How's that?
Okay, you were gonna withdraw this motion,
But now I make a motion
and
that.
as Lauren has to withdraw her second, or however, whoever voted either
and she
way.
did, yes.
Okay,
So I make
Now
a
you wanna
motion
make a
that
new
we,
motion.
that we send the motion as written to town council for his legal opinion.
okay.
In advance.
Mr.
of the-
Chair?
In advance of the meeting on the
Hold on.
15th.
Okay, yes, Judy?
Through you, may I ask a question?
Sure.
If the motion has been withdrawn to even discuss this, how can a motion be made to take a motion to the attorney?
I don't know the answer to
They either table this until the next meeting.
Well, we've already made a motion
respectfully
seconded, so we have to
request-
vote to pass it we vote to pass it over.
He just said he was going to withdraw his motion.
Okay,
I will then amend my motion to say that this is sent to legal counsel for his legal opinion prior to the meeting of the 15th. How's that? Is there a second?
I don't know what's happening, I'm not gonna lie.
It's just foolishness this week.
you know, see,
It is.
okay, add it in, and then, you know what? Whatever you
Sorry.
vote, I'm gonna say no. All right, if you're
Go
gonna
ahead.
keep throwing
If
that
that's the way
stupid crap
you
out.
wanna do that,
all right?
that's fine.
We're sitting here trying to get something done, okay, and you keep throwing that in.
Okay.
Jesus. You know, we're all trying to talk and try to get this solved, and you go,
Mr. Chair,
stupid.
Mr. Chair, thank you.
God almighty.
Stupid.
Yes, Lauren. Yeah, how's that? That's what it is. That's what you
Great.
just said.
Thanks.
I'm going to,
Everything is political.
Not to me, it's not, but to somebody it is. Yes, Lauren.
I understand.
Okay, yes,
I
Lauren.
would like to move to table this till our next meeting.
Okay, so we want to vote to pass it over.
Yes.
Okay, that's a motion.
Is anyone willing
I will
to?
second that.
Thank you.
Okay, Judy, motion's been made to pass it over. Seconded by
I will
Judy.
second that.
Okay. All those in favor of passing it over till December 15th
Yes.
meeting?
Yes.
Lauren,
Yes.
Steve,
No.
Judy,
Yes.
Diane.
Yes.
The chair votes yes. Passed over till December 15th by 4-1.